Today on our Teen will feature from the University of Denver, the New Beginnings Powwow, and organized by Denver Public School students, Dance to Your Future Powwow. More from the Santa Fe arts-based experience Meow Wolf coming to Denver in 2020, and from the TEDx Mile High archives before he was a star, Nathaniel Rateliff. This morning, we turned to the east and stared at the rising sun that snuck upward against the silver sky as though summoned. Together, the drums inside our chests began to sound. In the distance, the Black Hills stood like an ancestor unmovable. Rocky terrain, constructed by hands that speak the language of earth. Black Elk Peak, a prayer in an ancient tongue their crosses were unable to convert, an ancestor colonization was unable to kill. How silly they were to think they could rid the earth of the people who sprang from it. As if Creator was not the architect of the veins cut open to bleed life into existence. As if the spirit of relatives taken is not visible in the swaying of the grassy plains. When you close your eyes here, the ancestors evoke a stirring inside of you. And when you open them, the ash of manifest destiny turns eyes to mud. Wasichu, taker of fat, when will you learn that the sun cannot be stolen? Silly marauders, your bloody hands never learn that real gold rests shining in the sky. The sons and daughters of broken treaties are tethered to their land. Our brothers and sisters have not forgotten their names. They are etched into the wind, scribed into the clouds, written into the fire, painted into the stars. The rivers still reflect their hearts. Sometimes you remember things you never forgot in the first place. The sage and sweetgrass still burns. The sacrifice of Sundance still heals. Tobacco still pinched into prayer ties. The elders have protected the sacred songs in the treasure chests of their throats. And we stand here grateful. We stand here, a human altar dressed in flowers holding hands. Our prayers dance toward the heavens like copal. We stand here in this circle of medicine, in this holy hoop of decolonization, both code switching and unflinching, with the wings of yesterday and the legs of tomorrow. Our leaves and roots are inseparably entwined. Let our hands become blistered from the work, and our blood be the life that shifts the wind in the direction of collective liberation. Hey, I'm Bobby Lefebvre, and that was a poem I wrote while spending time at Pine Ridge with the Intercultural Leadership Institute. Powwows are a chance for Native Americans to gather together, to give thanks, and to celebrate community and culture. And for two local events, it's also to encourage and honor education. We're here at the University of Denver for their New Beginnings Powwow. There was another event this spring, organized by Denver Public School students, the Dance to Your Future Powwow. It was held at the Tall Bull Memorial Grounds in Daniels Park.
There's a prophecy about the seventh generation, and that's my generation. I am the seventh generation. That, you know, we're going to make a change in our communities, and we're going to make a change globally. And so today, it's just this idea of encouraging Indigenous youth.
Growing up, I was raised by my traditional grandmother, so she would always tell me a powwow is really giving back to the people, an early time to celebrate life.
The purpose of a powwow is really just to pray to the Creator, pray to our ancestors and everything that we have, Mother Nature, sun, everything, just to pray and have a sense of community with all of our family and friends.
We dance, we share prayers with each other. It essentially started out with different tribes having different dances, and so it just became like a celebration and a chance to come together and just kind of, gather and feast.
The purpose of this powwow is to really encourage our Native American youth. It's a powwow/college fair.
Our college fair allows students to check out the Native American services at each school. It helps us because, a lot of kids around here are low income, and so it kind of helps to know what scholarships there are and how they can go to school.
The students did a lot of the organization. We would dedicate our Saturdays to waking up 7 in the morning and then driving to DU and then having an hour and a half meeting every Saturday.
This was organized by several schools in DPS. So we did fundraisers like at Chipotle and Panera, and we did like school fundraisers. So we like sold fry bread and mutton stew and everything like that. I want people to know that we're still here and that although we've been through a bunch of stuff, we're still here and we're still strong, and we haven't given up. We won't give up.
We're still here. We're still very much alive. We did survive a genocide. I'm part of the 0.5% in my student population, but I'm still here and I'm still a person. We're not costumes. We're not people that were never like we're gone now. We're still here and we're still fighting. We're still gathering, and we still have powwows. We still come together. We have a lot of community events. My community is so loving. I love my community. It's amazing. Currently, right now, I believe we're only 1% of college populations. And and that needs to change. That needs to change. That needs to change in our communities. It comes from our community and outside our community. We need to start supporting our Indigenous youth to know that they could go on and succeed. And that's what I'm doing today, and that's what I feel like I'm doing today. I have my little sister with me, and she's going to be able to see that. She's going to be able to see that there are other natives who are going to go on to college, and they're going to be able to do what they want to do with their lives.
Great work by Denver Public School students. We'll get back to the DU powwow later in our show. But first up, we have a very special guest. Nathaniel Rateliff has become a worldwide sensation. But let's take a look back before he was a star to his appearance at TEDx Mile High in 2011.
Guten Abend. Sorry. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Let's do that. All right. I was taken long and lane where they boil and fight, where they boil and fight. I was taken all my days and all night, and all night. Maybe you skip and walk, maybe you tap your heels. It won't matter at all if you just stand still. Taking it off, see how it feels. Taking a long way through the fields, and hey, that's alright. Maybe you're too tired to wake. Rub your eyes. Rub your eyes. Could try to tell you what it is, but it's more than I. Well, it's more than I. We got 'em off the ground again. We're gonna wait till the sun lets us in. We got along fine without any friends. We got along right to think about it. Thank you. So I was asked to try to play some uplifting songs, and this is the best I could come up with. If you don't pay too much attention to what I'm saying, it might be a little bit uplifting. So here's another hopeful song. This one's called Laughing. Now you would think that would be uplifting, and it is. So it's a slight love song with a twist, you know. All right. You're looking thin anyways, and you stare right through me. A surprise told me, leg to leg. And is there a place we could run that you could hide with me and take our time doing nothing at all? And we got tons of rope, time is done, and this tiny crown will be our shield for hope and love. And now I know where we're going, and now I know where we're going, and now I know where we're going until we're gone. Pretend you're the wind, pretend I'm the sun, and how warm I make, how warm I make your air. And if it's not too much love, I cover my eyes for me, and it's a bright morning, and we're waking up. And now I know where we're going, and now I know where we're going, and now I know where we're going, and now I know where we're going until we're gone. Even when they got us pinned, we're laughing. 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 We're laughing. We're laughing. We're laughing.
Much more art scene on the other side, including Meow Wolf and DU's New Beginnings powwow. We'll be right back. And we are back on Art Scene. A few months ago, we told you about Meow Wolf coming to town in 2020 and gave you a brief overview into this immersive arts experience. Well, Denver's Meow Wolf will not be exactly the same as the original in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but here's a little bit more to whet your appetite.
The first piece of fake food that I collected, I was probably about 8 years old. There was a place on Union Street in San Francisco. They had big, oversized hamburgers. It was all made out of wax. And I got a baked potato. And it was just so cool. It was wrapped in foil. It had a piece of fake butter on the top, and it looked so real, you know? I even remember when I was a kid, I had like this little Fisher-Price fake farm. And in the back, there was like this little barn door. Next to it, there was a thing of fake hay. I was so obsessed with it. I would rub my finger on it. I'm like, whoa, it's hay, but it's fake and it's tiny and it's miniature. And like, I collected fake food, fake ice, fake teeth, fake fires. Also absurd because, you know, they don't generate any heat. They just create a vibe. But that vibe, I'm chasing down these vibes and these sort of like feelings that you know are fake, but they still stimulate you. I collect those absurdities and employ them in the art. Cake is one of the most non-threatening things in our culture. You save it for celebrations. It has a pretty color. It just makes you feel good. You have it on your birthday. It's like cake. People are drawn to it. People feel comfortable with it. They're open. They're happy. Then when I hit them with something more challenging, it hits them pretty hard. Last time I counted, we had 31 mirrors, full-length mirrors, going into the installations. Your senses just get messed up, and that's awesome. Putting these mirrors together and creating the geometry that creates a sense of infinity is part of nature, and it's a perfect metaphor for the endless space that's out there. Anything can happen in the universe. It provides all the energy and all the materials for you to do anything. That's enough to give you faith. So have total faith in what you do. The universe appreciates it. Nature is an example of integrated light and dark. And we live in a culture that likes to separate light and dark. Religion has forced us to cast out the dark, live only in the good and the light, and that's not really honest. It's not honest. If you think you have to be good all the time, you're kind of misleading yourself. You know, we're not here to be good. We're here to be whole. In this installation, there is sort of a representation of heaven and hell. The elevated mirror chamber that has the vignettes that look into the cake land are very uplifting and very reflective of what a perfection space looks like. Lots of beauty, color saturated. There's going to be birds singing. That's my idea of what heaven can be. It looks like nature, except there's cakes everywhere. And then you go down the steps to the lower room. It's really dark. It's really spooky. There's a portal that looks into this space that looks, I'm going to make it pretty hellish. I believe that all light and all dark is already integrated, but we grow up thinking they're separated. It's better to be practical than to be in denial, to just cast it out and try and objectify it as a darkness that's not part of you. Like, it just doesn't make sense. My spirituality is nature-based. I know that nature is spirit. Right now, I think we're in a time that's sort of dominated by a really aggressive type of capitalism that depends on consuming nature for profit. So consequently, I'm a fierce defender of nature. If anybody disrespects nature, I punch them in the face. Living in a cake land is really indulgent, and it's really neglectful of, you know, being responsible. The time you invest in existing in a dreamy, decadent world may feel good, but it's like not reality at all. If we push the dark out all the time, we're unprepared to deal with real dark circumstances once they descend on us, which is inevitable. It's part of life. And when I look back, I see dark times, and some of them I haven't really gotten over. But the wounds, there's a saying that what breaks you is where the light comes out. Injury leads to revelation, and that's the purpose of dark experiences. I want people to see all those things, and different people are going to see different things in it, and that's not even my business, you know. What they see, that's up to them. So.
Do you like cake?
Not so much. I'm not crazy about carbs, you know.
And now back to our main event, the DU New Beginnings Powwow. All right, so we're here with Vicky Eagle, who is basically the coordinator of this entire powwow. Let's start with this thing that you got in your hands right now.
Yeah, this is an Indian taco from Tokabe. Both the owners, actually Ben Jacobs and Matt Chandra, graduated from the University of Denver.
So tell us a little bit about why you started this and how the New Beginnings Powwow actually started.
Yeah, so, I think first it's not always about me. It looks like I'm doing a lot of the work just because I work here at DU. But when I was a student here, it started all completely by students, the Native Student Alliance during that time. But, I think we wanted this powwow to celebrate us being at DU, but also to celebrate our graduates in particular and celebrate new beginnings, this new spring, and then this new time. When we finally get to see that 4 years and getting that degree, we really want to celebrate that with the community.
Absolutely. And Native students are completely underrepresented in higher education.
Right.
Graduation rates, acceptance rates, graduation rates are super low. How is this sort of also an example of empowerment for young people who may be coming here and step foot on this university for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it starts, by us just letting people know there are Native students here. And I think that was a big thing our community probably didn't know, is that we had Native students who cared about their community, who wanted to give something back and to be in this very cultural relevant way. And I want these young people to see that there are Native people here who want to give back. You can still be at college, still value everything that you have and be successful in that way. Not necessarily this Western way, but also in this we're here to give back to our communities and make it better.
So for folks that are watching in our, out there in TV land who may not be as familiar with powwow culture, Native culture, what would you like folks to know about what goes on here?
I think it starts with just being open-minded, and I think it's, embracing and talking about our culture, and powwow is open to everybody. Sometimes people feel like, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to be there, and I always say I wouldn't put it in Magnus Arena if no one was invited to be here.
Sure.
And, I think especially for our DU community, this is an annual event, it's open to the public, and we just want to share not just our culture, but just even our students and our graduates and everything that you can also learn from a powwow.
Well, hey, Vicky, thank you so much for chatting with us. We know that you're super busy. We caught you in between running and organizing and eating, so thank you very much for not only what you do here, but what you do every single day. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you all.
All right, so we're here at the DU Powwow with Joseph Yellow Horse Murphy. He's a student here at the University of Denver. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Of course.
So talk to us a little bit about you being a student here at DU. You're set to graduate soon, right?
Yeah, I'm supposed to graduate in May, and I've been here for 4 years. I'm graduating with a computer engineering degree, and it's been a great time so far.
Absolutely, and this powwow here is celebrating Native students on campus. What is the importance of the powwow in conjunction with you being a student here at the university?
It's always been really special for me for the powwow, at least. When we first got here, it was really small, and ever since then, we're just continuously growing and growing, and I feel like it's definitely helped me become more proud to be a Native, I guess.
Unfortunately, only a small amount of Native students make it to the university, and even fewer, graduate. What is the key to, one, getting into college, and then two, being able to sustain?
I guess the key to that would be just believe you can do it and always keep pushing. I don't know, I appreciate what DU's done for me and the degree they're going to be giving me soon. I really appreciate the Native Student Alliance for helping me push through everything.
That's great. Well, hey, thank you very much for chatting with us. Best of luck to you in the future.
Appreciate it.
For the younger generations, it's important for them to see that there's graduates in college, even though we're the minority, that there's still natives who are getting an education.
Absolutely. Where are you from? Where'd you come from?
I'm from Winrock, Arizona, in the capital of the Navajo Nation.
Great.
Yeah.
And so if you had any advice for incoming Native students or students from diverse backgrounds of all kinds that are attempting to come into a university that is traditionally not as diverse, what would your advice be, your words of wisdom to help them not only get in and through, but to graduate?
I would say probably that there's Native Americans or whatever group you are, there's groups out there that they're going through the same thing that you're going through. And it's very important for us to get the education and also be able to take that knowledge and apply it to our own communities.
All right, so you guys are here at the University of Denver for the New Beginnings Powwow. Tell us a little bit about why you guys come to Powwow and what it means to you.
I dance because it's very cultural. It's a very spiritual thing for me. I've been dancing since I was about her age, so it's just like something I do in our culture. We're always very involved. So.
What about your earrings and what you're wearing? Is that something that you make? Do you purchase that? How do you get that?
We make this. We usually hand make our beadwork. My grandpa made mine. He also made this, hers. So we usually make our dresses too. So it's just a very cultural, like hands-on thing.
We're more or less trying to get most of the kids that are in the city to come in and be familiar with the culture. A lot of our language is being lost, and I think it's time that we kind of bring it back.
All right, so we're here with Lakota Sage with Native Gorilla clothing company.
Yep.
Yeah. What is the importance of utilizing, traditional symbols into a more modern aesthetic?
Well, I like to use the traditional ways because, as they say with us Native Americans, we are the protectors of Mother Earth, is taking those ways of our traditions and showing it to people so other people can have the ideas of taking care of the earth. So it's kind of like sharing the knowledge.
Absolutely. And obviously powwows are a great opportunity to do that, to share Native culture, to be in community. So besides, sort of getting your product out there and sharing your message, what do you get from coming to powwow?
Well, the powwows are fun. It's always like a reunion with a lot of the friends. There's a lot of new faces I've already seen already. But it's nice to connect with more and more people in Indian country. And that way us in Indian country can keep working together and, do better for each other.
I'm with Angela with Native American Aztec Creations by Timok, correct?
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about your practice. What do you have here? How do you make these things? Tell us about your business.
Well, these are all Native American traditional items we make with real leather, real glass beads, real feathers, all traditional, no plastics, none of that stuff. And where we live at, we were able to get real leather that we tan and hide and scrape ourselves.
What is the importance of the powwow for the continuation of your handiwork here?
Well, mostly it's just, of course, to show that, we do have a lot of gifted individuals, Native Americans, who can create a lot of things, not just ours, but just keeping the tradition alive.
All right, so we're here with Timok Mosqueda, who is with the Native American Aztec Creations. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
We had a chance to look at your booth here. What is your favorite part about your creative practice?
My favorite part is to explain people the history behind the jewelry. I like people to know what they buy, because in this time people buy everything made in China, Taiwan. It's just fake, So being destroyed the Native American products. So I have respect for the artists, the people to still make a hand.
So more than just decoration and...
You have to use it because it's soul.
Right.
Native America is the soul. It's your spirit. When you understand the value, it's when you connect it with the jewelry, when you connect the beautiful things you make, Native American Aztec Creations, we still create it. We never stop creating.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Now this is an Indian taco. Thanks to the New Beginnings Powwow and all of our guests, and thank you for watching. I'm Bobby Lefebvre. We'll see you next time as we discover more of Denver's art scene.